money I be making, I'ma burn them, I'ma murk them. And if they playing with this fire, I'ma burn them. Murder, it's a murder. Disrespect us, I'ma spark it, I'ma burn them. And I'll be searching, I'll be lurking, I'ma hurt them. And all these bridges that I'm building, I'ma burn them. Burn them, burn them. All this money I be making, I'ma burn them. Burn them. Smoke it up. Burn them. Whopping niggas bucket, I'ma serve them. Spinning on a block with a mop, I disturb them. I never killed a nigga, but I'm ready to spit a hollow right on a person. And the curse, I'm about to merge on a nigga's turf. I'ma let a nigga burn, burn, let him burn. And these pussies better learn. When I pull up, I'ma burst. Make a nigga see stars spinning, leave him on a curb. Burn him, burn him. All this money I be making, I'ma burn him. Burn him.
nights just don't feel the same. Oh, like my life inside a car. Hit the button, drive real far. But that record only die. I'm dreaming of you, I dream of a new night. Fight in the dark till we see the sunlight. My love, it's you and I. Cross and come back this far. So reach for the stars, 'cause we're aiming high. You can't wait to see me now, 'cause lately you've been feeling down. You lay awake alone at night. Oh, like your life inside a car. Forget the world and drive real far. Put that record on again. Oh, my love, it's you and I. Cross and come back this far. So reach for the stars, 'cause we're aiming high. I'm dreaming of you, I dream of a new night. Fight in the dark till we see the sunlight. My love, it's you and I. Cross and come back this far. So reach for the stars, 'cause we're aiming high. I can't wait to leave this town.
Hello, everyone.
'Cause lately I've been feeling down.
Welcome to the semifinals matchup between 3-5 and WRTB. We are actually heading right into the map flip. And we should be good to go here in about 40 seconds. Just gotta make a few changes here on my side, and I'll flip back to this live game.
Can't wait to leave this town, 'cause lately I've been feeling down.
Yes, we are going to be flipping our map to Utah Beach. And we will get going. Welcome to the Premier League playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. Got a nice little Division 2 matchup right here. Gonna be played on Utah. Get into this right away. I think I do actually have to switch up my thumbnail, which I'll probably do that at the end of the stream. Kind of messed it up, but that's okay. And we will get WN7. There's people in my chat being loud. Trying to find the person I'm supposed to join. He might be actually in a armory. I don't know where he's at. There he is. There's Borgie. And we will get this up and going. Oop, that is not what I wanted to do. So we got WN7 here for and Drowned Fields and Win 5. WRTB is going to be playing as the Axis. 3-5 going to be playing as the Allies. Kind of excited for this little point. I think this is a very even point, I would say. Where is... I cannot find... There it is. There's the score block. Okay. So this is a very even point. I think it's slightly favored for an allied cap, but this point of win 7 I think is very, very even. Just gonna turn on my audio just so everything's nice and crisp. Probably going to do this real quick. Oops. Oops. Do that. Change up my thumbnail. Just so everything is good to go when we do go live. All right. And yes, if you guys do see the pinned comment in the live chat, there is a little donation link for you to donate to one of the 3-5 members who has unfortunately passed away recently. So hearts and thoughts all go out to that player and their families, as well as the people of 3-5. You know, very unfortunate that that news was dropped earlier this week, but nonetheless, hopefully 3-5 can pull out a win for their friend, unless WRTB will stop that parade. And here we go. Looks like we do get some snipes right away. Not sure if that actually connected or not. Looks like it did not. It's like 3-5 is still continuing to snipe. I do not believe that they will get those snipes whatsoever. I assume that's probably this recon tank. Yes, that is. 3-5 is burning. Pretty standard loadout. I don't think they are burning anything too extra. They do. It is an additional light tank. Rockets landing just a little bit short for 3-5 and WRTB, so no snipes will be hit. And we are going to let this battle commence. Stewart is going to help out this southern push a tad bit. Like Frost is gonna get one rocket into the Stewie. Stewie will take out the Puma. Frost does not take out. Looks like he actually hit the turret. Maximus is coming, but he will get cut down by the Greyhound. So 3-5 very fortunate to not lose their light tanks or really any other tanks. There's actually a truck rushing in, but it looks like Gem will go down. Now, despite the map control in the north for 3-5, they still don't have that great of a presence in the actual hard cap, but they are starting to flip towards their favor just as I say that. Head towards a little bit of the north, and it does look to be under 3-5 control. P4 playing in a very unusual spot. I don't think they really have too much you know, line of sight as it is, as opposed to where, you know, the garrison down here in the corner for WRTB is, but like L zone is on an AT gun for WRTB. Might not have the best line of sights onto these tanks though, unfortunately for him. Just starting to slowly favor WRTB for this cap, or my apologies, 3-5 for this cap. Back here up in the north, looks like 3-5 is starting to slowly wrap around WRTB, but WRTB are trading back their fights. Do you go back into the hard cap? It's actually starting to be really highly contested. I'm not gonna be surprised if either team starts flipping people towards their OP. Skeeter with 2 huge kills. Artie will clean them out as well. I think Skeeter might have wiped out an OP or two. And that Stewart tank that's tucked in behind those hedges is gonna be a pretty big problem. Looks like the AT gun. Something got blown up back here. Oh, looks like a P4 actually did get taken out. Looks like they, WRTB did try to bring up that P4, but end up getting caught by the enemy medium Sherman. And it's pretty much all 3-5 for this cap. They're controlling the areas that they need to control. WRTB kind of going up that death road, as I like to call it, where you basically just throw smokes and die to Artie, tanks, MGs, and whatever else the enemy wants to hit you with. Big spawn wave for WRTB on one of their backline Garys, and that's probably a sign that they will probably fall back and start defending their own defensive point as soon as it does flip to the 3-5 favor. 3-5 already in, you know, a half-decent position as it is to continue some sort of push to grounded fields. Or tank being very key for this kind of like hold on this crossroads right here, 4-3-5. The big thing that WRTB cannot afford is to lose this southern spot. If they kind of lose that, it's very hard to, you know, regain that back if you are the Axis in the situation. Sure if WRTB, yes, they do have at least one Tiger tank oncoming. Still have that light tank. I think 3-5 has all of their tanks up and running as it is. Just kind of a more grand overview of basically where the majority of both teams' forces are. 3-5 basically controlling this main road for the most part, working their way to wipe out the WRTB forces in the south. I think I've said this before on previous streams, but Win 7, it's just one of those points where it's very hard to cap back once you lose it, but it's very possible for either team to cap. So, you know, pretty even mid fight that we did get. Looks like a bombing run is coming in for WRTB. Do they have a bomb airhead? They do not. That will most likely wipe out the on-point Gary rep stations and other sort of fancy stuff that 3-5 was trying to build. Oh, but unfortunately misses his rocket onto that light tank. It's been a bit of a weakness from WRTB so thus far is just how they have dealt with these tanks. Their infantry has been hitting them but not finishing them out. But it looks like oh, what the heck? Made the Stuart tank go 360, track them, and it looks like they will get down at least one satchel onto that tank. Kind of a little bit of a funny fight there, but you know, if they had a rocket, they would have killed this light tank possibly. I don't know if George will kill him. Hits him once. Unfortunately, there's no one loading for him, and will get knocked out of the reps of the AT gun, and his AT gun will go down before the Stuart goes down. .35 is starting to press up a little bit more. Shift back towards more of this northern side. 3-5 starting to kind of go into the D7 sector a tad bit. WRTB here in some sort of presence, not giving away this up for free. Not sure if 3-5 has any sort of tanks coming. Looks like something blew up back here. I assume that's just probably a truck. Yeah, just a truck. I don't. Oh, there's two trucks here. Oh, there's just one. It looks like they do. Do they not have a heavy tank? Looks like they might have one coming up. They have a Greyhound coming up. Okay. Interesting how 3-5 has no sort of heavy tanks coming up, unless there's one that I just completely missed. I don't think that is. But not a lot of WRTB here in the south that is getting farmed by Artie. Not sure who is the Artie player for 3-5. I think it might be Comet. Comet does get one into the Lukes. Wicked decides to shoot the Lukes from the front. I don't think you can do that, sir. Give a grenade from somebody. I think that was Murphy. Knocks down 2. This is a very important spot that these guys are fighting over. WRTB does lose this. Big kill from Kev there. It's a very hard spot to take back as Axis. So they are starting to clear up that southern side a little bit more, but Kev's really got to push for that OP. Don't think he knows that a spawn wave just happened. He gets 1. Does wipe out the OP and the SL, so that's a huge win for them, for him and his squad. I don't think he knows that Wicked and Skeeter spawned in. Skeeter does get the kill. And then MG will knock Skeeter down. Well, not Skeeter, the other player. Cole hit front of the MG. Gets knocked down by Gem. WRTB maintaining, you know, good presence down here, not giving it up, but, you know, they're starting to maybe leak a little bit from the north and their front door a tad bit. Very curious if, there's a Greyhound down here, by the way. Can't see them on your screen, probably. Very curious if a, what's it called, can kill a light tank. And 3-5 is just trying to hound in on this garrison that they definitely know is up here now with all the presence of WRTB. Question is, can they outfrag them? And that's going to be the main thing up here in the north is, you know, the numbers are, I would say, pretty even. Slight favor towards WRTB as far as actual numbers, but it's like they will come on top of that. And 3-5 maintaining, you know, good presence on their front door. If you look at the map real quick. Now, there's really nothing in the W7 sector other than obvious, like, the south. But, you know, if you're 3-5, you can maybe kind of let them maintain that south. You know, they really can't move up too much. There is a Tiger that is moving in. And I assume that's a 3-5 bombing run. I don't know if there's an airhead. I don't think there is. Is a bombing run. I think it will wipe out. Yes, it does wipe out that southern Gary. Will actually kill everybody, including their own 3-5 members. There's no one here in the south. Oh man, did I just miss a knife? No, I don't. I think Tiger died by gunfire there. I'm just very surprised I haven't seen a 76 yet from 3-5, or at least heard it. Unless they're playing pretty cautiously, don't want to move up too much. Or maybe going on some sort of wacky flank. Who exactly knows? Oh, it does get knocked down. Does knock down Steved. I don't know what I said there. I'm very tired. I actually just woke up from a nap. It's been a wild weekend. Oh. Not sure if they took out this garrison. No, the garrison up here is still okay. Looks like WRTB is putting up a P4. I'm assuming they can get another heavy tank. Looks like they are setting up something very far wide, which I think is a good call. Maybe are putting too many resources in the north, and looks like Irish did just knock down that garrison. Can be easily rebuilt by Hines here, but this is a lot of 3-5 to deal with. He is the only member of WRTB, and if he does get it down, it's probably not going to be that beneficial, or will be up that much longer. Like Fubar and Wood. I think this just might be a 2-man. It is a 3-man. They're kind of unaware that AT is behind them. Hits them once. Garrison does go down by spears. Fubar actually gets taken out by somebody. Not sure if Spears does have another rocket in him or not. I think he does. And Spears is probably gonna get another rocket into him, and that will be a downed P4. Well played there from the 3-5 ATs. Really surrounding the WRTB armor here up in the north. .35 starting to get presence in the north, but look at all the WRTB up here in the north as well. If they get those forces cut down, it could be a very interesting next few minutes here if WRTB can win their gunfights up there in the north of Win 7. You know, that would basically force 3-5 to kind of reset back on the Win 7 itself. Looks like we do have 2 76s there on Win 7. Looks like there is, I assume, another Tiger. Yeah, another Tiger's in the HQ. But garrison situation is not looking too good for WRTB. For some reason, they do have a munitions node at Flooded House. Even if that does get destroyed, I think due to it being an actual hard cap, I don't think any penalty will be applied. That was to get destroyed. Not sure if Skeeter just took out OP. He did not, but look at this up here in the north. Looks like a tank just got hit. Even though if he did get hit by one, and he will get double tapped by both of those 76s. I think the second shot onto that 76 was a turret, and then the follow-up shot was a haul to kill the Tiger. And lots of 3-5 just north of Drowned. They do have, you know, a few garrisons that they can utilize, but it's not looking too good for them right now. I don't know how no one sees George. George just gets popped right away. I'm assuming a lot of WRTB are gonna start falling back onto to this back Harrison especially. Zone gets one. Pretty much the lone defender on the point, but he is getting some more people spawning off his OPs. On wood. Gets two. Will he get a third? Does not. Larry protecting his on-point OP as much as he can. But he is in dire need of some help because this can turn very quickly for WRTB here on Drowned Fields. Looks like 3-5's Ash is starting to move up their tanks a tad bit. Very curious of what's happening up here in the north. Like the WRTB is trying to get situated here in the north. I think Poobar actually just wiped out the garrison that was up here. 3-5 is responding. I think that's why, you know, they kind of cut down on some of their, you know, direct northern push, but it just turned into a kind of a front door push now for 3-5. Boss moving into this trench. Gets shut down by Reaper. Shuffles and Hog. Will wipe out the OP. And I think that might start flipping it a tad bit into the 3-5 favor. If they win some gunfights, Reaper trying his best. Gets one, but does get traded out himself from Tau. I think the big thing right now for WRTB is that 3-5 is really not pressing the attack too much onto the hard cap. If 3-5 just puts one OP inside of Drowned, it probably can flip very easily. It's like Tau and Fat Hog probably gonna place their OPs. Try to knock down this Tiger. If they knock down this Tiger, I would easily see this flipping into their favor. Actually, does WRTB have a shot onto this Tiger tank? I think they are getting hit from a medium, actually, all the way there in the north. And I don't think this WRTB tank crew quite knows exactly where he's at. The medium actually does blow up to, I assume, a satchel. This Tiger down here in the south, pretty much all alone, does have one OP with him. Shuffle's gonna try to go for a run, but immediately gets cut down. And 3-5 now fully controlled of this, you know, southern D8 sector. WRTB, that's not the spot that you wanted to lose. Unfortunately, that is their reality right now. Still plenty of time in the game. Just over or just under an hour left. You know, if you're just joining me, this is the semifinals of the Premier League here. It's a console competitive league of Hell Let Loose. Here with a Division 2 matchup between WRTB and 3-5 here on Utah Beach. Oh my, someone just got absolutely fucking destroyed. Impacted by a puma. The fight over mid was, I would say under 10 minutes long, with 3-5 taking it and slowly pushing back to Drowned Fields, and kind of at this standstill now of Drowned Fields tap for 3-5, but WRTB trying to push back. Look at bullets back here, the MG. Or if he's trying to oh, he just cut down Ace. Got BP up here as an MG. Common spot. Looks like this tank gets hit once. I think he will back out of it. Looks like an AT gun. Pretty sure that was an AT gun. It's actually, I think it's the Puma. Yeah, the Puma is hitting the 76. Not going to do too much. Tiger does take a shot. I think the other 76 is going to push him a tad bit and will probably knock him out. Rocket from Wicked will miss the Puma, but I think the 76 will die, or the 76 will get the kill onto this Tiger, which he does. Good team play there from both of those tank crews. And then down goes the Puma shortly after. Little surprised not to see any more AT guns kind of built up back here. They do, I think, just have one, but it's kind of out of position. Not really doing too much, no one on it. Murphy says, screw it, I'm gonna run across the field. Like, we do have a 3-5 bombing run coming in. Oh, it's actually WRTB bombing run. It is gonna knock down all the rep stations. It's going to force tracks to repair the tracks onto the 76. And it's just kind of shooting fish in a barrel right now for 3-5, at least in those tanks. Now this entire sector now basically clear. Just a few guys in the north, just Black May and Ness. I think Ness actually just took out a Garrison, kills Egbert. A tank will take him out. You know, now we're kind of like in this lull situation. I would say the majority of each, you know, team's forces are essentially like over 100 meters away from each other. If we kind of just do like a quick overview. They're essentially just 100 meters, 150 meters away. Like, yes, 3-5 is still pressing the point of Drowned, but their lines are really spread apart. I think that's just the beauty of Drowned Fields and Win 7 point when you get pushed back into Drowned Fields. Same could be honestly said for, you know, any of these points on any map for the most part, but... I think the tanks now are starting to possibly push up a little bit more. I don't think they are. Do have a lot of rep stations back here, as you can see. Good amount of rep station graveyards. Down goes an AT gun. Looks like 3-5 they're actually starting to, you know, cap a little bit of the point. I think it's mostly just due to sector. I don't know if Skeeter and Bergs are actually in the hard cap. They are not. It's all kind of just due to, I don't even know what. I think they just had more people in the sector for a second. But that is a cause of concern for WRTB. When that usually happens, it just means your team is essentially just getting out-fragged for a little bit. And I think that's starting to happen right now, where they are starting to cap it. It's mostly just people in hard cap, but more or less that just means you are getting out-fragged, or you just have a mass amount of people outside of the sector. I think it's a little bit of both. But it is a sign that 3-5 is starting to make their push now. Bomb and run is going to come in. Not sure if any on point Gary. They do have one kind of by Gengar, but that does not wipe out the Gary. But here comes the 3-5 push on to Drowned Fields. Or Drowned Fields, as people will meme about it. I really don't care. Huge spawn wave onto the on-point garrison. I feel like this 76 is about to get a quad, but he actually hits the bush in front of him, believe it or not. Garrison will get wiped out. There's a handful of people here for WRTB. There actually is a Lux in the back lines. Kind of where Bip is at, but probably will not to amount to anything, and this will flip into a 4-1 in favor. I think the replay bug is actually, or the bug on the bottom is actually broken. Believe it or not. Should be 4-1 there, it just finally flipped, thank God. But WRTB set up back on Flooded House defense a tad bit. and good old Lux fighting. Yeah, then obviously nothing, you know, too bad back here. 3-5 gonna start, you know, doing some sort of pushing onto Flooded House. Looks like they're trying to go into the finals with a nice 5-0 victory, but, you know, still plenty of time for WRTB to mount something back. Just over halfway to go into this game. You know, in the game of Hell Loose, anything is possible, especially in competitive. We have seen, you know, last second wins when there's 30 seconds on the clock. You know, saw that last week with the quarterfinals in Division 1 between Merc and EXO. The dangerous thing for, I would say, WRTB now, because it's Flooded House, if, you know, 3-5, you know, somehow gets a garrison, I would say somewhere kind of behind this, like, hedge line right here. If they do get a garrison behind, like, these hedges, they can essentially send a full team and walk into point and see if they can start capping it to basically win this game in a very, very fast fashion. Enter an Ozone against Gengar and Larry. Larry gets cut down. Gengar actually throws his grenade, but will wipe out the OP of Ozone. That being said, though, lots of 3-5 now. Even, I think they're trying to go for the 5-0 within, I would say, 60 minutes. There is a P-strike coming down. I think it actually just missed. It was right here, but I guess he was already moving during that flare or something like that. So unfortunately, that P-strike will miss. For WRTB's sake. We just take a look at the map too, though. You know, WRTB, decent garrison network. All, you know, kind of expect the garrisons to have. They could have one in the far, far south if they really wanted to. Looks like they're trying to set up like a deep red zone as well. But Drowned Fields, I would say it's one of the harder points to retake. You really have to, you know, kind of push from the south side of the map to retake it. And WRTB are, you know, holding their own down here in the south. Like something just blew up. I assume it's probably an AT gun that was just built here by Ronan. Yeah, it was. Unfortunate for him. So far, I think the biggest advantage for either team this game has been, I think, armor for the 3-5 side. 3-5's armor just has been, you know, on their game. But, WRTB is starting to cap grounded fields, which is, I think, a little bit of surprise from their end. Or from the 3-5's end, because it looks like 3-5, yeah, 3-5 maybe a little bit overextended. Kind of just in sectors that they, you know, aren't contributing to any sort of cap weight. They are starting to flip flooded house. Looks like they are starting to maybe fall back a tad bit onto the 4th point. It looks like I'm actually kind of surprised that, you know, 3-5 hasn't kind of sent more back. They're kind of like in a little bit of a oh no kind of area right now. Just 1/3 cap, and I assume they are going to start defending. But WRTB coming back up with more reinforcements. But here comes the 76s. One's going to crash onto the hard cap, I assume. Just over halfway capped. WRTB not out of this game whatsoever. Unfortunately, X-Ray does miss the back of the tank. Yeah, here comes all 3-5 to come and defend their defense. Do we have a rocket snipe potentially? Well, that was a misping. I've ever seen one. Killing Tuba does get one into one of the 76s. I don't know who's driving the 76, but it's not in the best of spots. Is this 76 okay? Are they stuck? Oh, okay, they're fine. I'm just so confused. I think Fubar just sniped that garrison. I don't know where DBL is, or DLB. I think we do have a bombing run coming in. Not quite sure where this will be landing. Will it be landing at flooded, or will it be landing at drowned? Looks like it's gonna be landing at drowned for 3-5. It's gonna get, you know, a few kills with it. I'm just not quite sure that it was really needed. Oh, was this a tiger in the HQ? Or is this a... Oh, it was a puma. Okay, they killed a puma. I thought that was a tiger that was just peeking and it got double tapped right away. I'm like, ooh, that would have been bad. Now, I think 3-5 is kind of recognizing, you know, the mistake that they made onto kind of being too eager to push Flooded House. It didn't really clear out, you know, the C8 sector. They kind of just let that to their defense and their armor, and WRTB kind of took advantage of that and kind of sent their, you know, more than half their team to attack it. It almost paid out for them, but... Oh my god, did Action just get a knife kill? I think Acton might have just got a knife kill. They are trying to build an AT gun on the main road down there. WRTB is just kind of struggling to get anything going. Armor's kind of, you know, being a slight letdown for them, if I do have to say so myself. It's like they don't have really anything for a tank whatsoever. They are just going to drive a 76, I think, into the HQ. Wondering how legal that is. Or if there's going to be like a rule change about HQ farming and stuff like that. Kind of excited to see what this tank does. I feel like this 76 is also kind of out of ammo. This is probably the first 76 that was spawned in. I don't think 3.5 has really lost any tanks since the start of the match. Looks like a bombing run is coming down. It's probably going to be somewhat good. Looks like it will probably get this garrison here. Oh, beautiful bombing run there from a Apache garrison. Kind of not knocking out that front door push that 3.5 was doing. And then, looks like 3.5 really wants to, make sure they don't spawn anything down here. But one thing that 3.5 does have to keep worried about is the way you capture Drowned is mostly from the north, not from the, you know, direct west. So they have dedicated 2 76 crews to this HQ, which I find odd. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of 3.5 down here though in the south. Holy. Why is there so many people down here by this bush? I'll go back to the whatever is this down here. You know, I don't understand this right now of why bring 2 tanks in the south unless you just want to farm this team for 45 minutes. Holy shit, a ricochet. Where did it go? I have no idea. I just don't understand bringing 2 76s down here. I really don't. Like, you would think if you want to, you know, maybe 5-0 this team, you know, in good fashion, you know, bring your tanks up the flooded house. Because now, what could easily happen is there is a Tiger tank that is approaching from the north that, you know, could wipe out both of these tanks. Now, obviously, he has to go through a bunch of infantry that's kind of in between flooded house and the south, but... No, these 76s are kind of in a pickle. You say we have a knife. Storia. with the kill. I think this Tiger tank will probably get this first shot. Unless he doesn't see him. I think he sees him. Maybe. Oh, actually hits the carcass of this dead half track. Gets hit once. Desperately trying to get behind cover. And now the 76s are going to try to engage this Tiger tank. Don't know if they quite see him. I think Fat Hog is giving them call outs of where he's exactly at. Hits him once. And I think this Tiger tank will go down to the 76 on the right side of the screen. They actually, I think he got killed by somebody. I have no idea, but very surprised that the 76 unfortunately did not get that first hit because of the half track. Oh, Murphy trying to protect this tank with some oh, from the satchel. I'm just very confused of why farm this HQ down here, but no, is what it is, I guess. Jumbles and Lenny. I'm doing a slight little dance. For WRTB, yes, they are trying to push up from the north still, but 3-5 kind of cutting them down. Very curious if P Squad is going to try to do an ultra flank, I guess, all the way around the map. Oh, the tank gets the AT gun very close for that AT gun crew. Really trying to destroy these 76s down here in the south. All they need, I think, is some rocket guys, and they will be just fine. I don't think they have anybody with AT rockets or anything like that. I'm actually kind of shocked that 3-5 hasn't brought up a tank for flooded house. I'm still kind of confused on that. How they're running 2 tanks in the south. It looks like do you have a 76 back here? And Gentle is aware of this. Gentle will get the kill, and that will be a downed supply drop for him. Looks like other people came back here as well. Not sure if that's an airhead. No, I think that's just a supply drop. Go check back here in this HQ. Yeah, looks like they're still farming the HQ. Looks like they are starting to contest flooded house, and I think that's just due to all these guys not in the actual cap sector. Looks like they did move 176 up here. Actually, 276s here now. So it looks like they have 4 76s on the field, 4, 3, 5. And it looks like the fuel situation, they don't really have anything going for them. As far as fuel, they do have a medium on point. Bottom HQ is borderline useless at this point, with it getting just farmed out. Looks like it's actually getting contested here at Drowned, which is kind of odd. I don't know how it's being contested. There's literally no one in the sector, but I don't know where really to go. It's just kind of like a weird, really weird spot in the game. I don't really know what's going on. I think 3-5 is going to get ready to put this game away here in the next few minutes. I just had that kind of feeling that, you know, they had their fun, you know, farming them in the south. I think it's time for, you know, them to kind of just end this game, so to speak. Duffels. Try to get a satchel. And K9 is aware. I do not believe he did get a satchel onto that medium tank. I don't believe he did. But this does have a feeling. Looks like there is a bombing run coming down for WRTB. The Blood God will die to another bombing run. I think that might be the 3rd bombing run he's actually died to. Down goes the medium tank to a 76. I think now's the time for 3-5 to start putting a little bit more pressure onto Flooded House. And I think this bombing run will probably do it if they do get this on-point garrison. No, they... Why would they... Huh? Why would 3-5... I'm so confused. I'm so confused of why they bombed that. Not Flooded House, but... I don't understand. I feel like they could have just bombed Flooded House and that would have been it. I think 3-5 is going to start getting ready to start flipping this cap. We're into the 276s now. WRTB kind of pretty much surrounded from all angles except for the direct north for the most part. Yeah, it's not gonna look good for them. And actually, it looks like Drowned is starting to get, you know, contested a tad bit. Now, they were farming them at this HQ, but WRTB still gonna spawn back here and, you know, are pushing up to to the 4th point. You know, trying to make something out of what they have, which is honestly not too much on the field. Garrison is locked out. I think Spears is currently locking it out. I think he gets 2. Frost gonna try to protect it, but does get blown up by a 76. Satchel does go on. And the cap has now started. Have a little bit of a cap race commencing. WRTB does have a garrison that they can spawn and push off of. But so I think 76 knows about it and is going to try to take that out before any of that does get defended. Huge spawn wave. That's a lot of people chasing the 76, dude. They are getting cut down by Ledford and Storia, but I think this is gonna wrap up this match. And yeah, looks like Airhead is coming down here for 3-5. So this will wrap up the Division 2 semifinal matches. I'm pretty sure week 1 or the first winner was I think that was Roths who ended up winning that. Yes, Roths won that 3-2 against Lep, and 3-5, and Roths will face off in a little bit of a rematch in the final for Division 2, and that will do it. Kind of ignore the score at the bottom of the screen. It's not 5-1, it's 5-0. I'm gonna give mine to Borgie for being on Artie, but yeah, that's going to be GG's here. So congrats to 3-5 on to making the finals. Good luck in your final against Roths. That will be played, I think, in 2 weeks. I'm not entirely sure on to that. Hopefully, my my bracket thing will work. See if this will pop up. If it does, it just takes forever to load. Yeah, so here we do have it. So WRTB was the match winner of 1A, and they will be playing Roths in the finals. Roths did beat Lep earlier today, 3-2. So yeah, we have plenty more matches left to go this weekend. A lot more tonight and stuff, and a few tomorrow. Unfortunately, we are not covering all the matches just due to everyone basically scheduling matches between now and honestly like 8 o'clock Eastern, so we do apologize about that. But good luck to the rest of the teams that played tonight. I will be streaming ANZR and First later. That's gonna be a nice little Division 5 game. So yeah, with that all being said, I will wish you guys all a good rest of your day, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.